Alrighty then, hello and welcome to Clash of the Titans round 2 of the qualifiers, and this is the first game I'm actually casting of round 2, obviously most of the games being later in the week, but in this game we do have POZ Cloud and a very late, very delayed bacgiobro, and I'm not going to get angry, I will stay impartial and objective to this game. But anyway, over to the left of the map in blue we do have POZ Cloud. He's playing as Aztecs. And so that obviously does leave us then with bacgiobro on the right in red, also playing as Aztecs, because in round 2 we do have a best of 5, and game number 1 is, as usual, Clash of the Titans map pack, and it is random mirror civs. The map then looking pretty obviously to be Golden Hill right now. It's certainly an interesting map. We did see a pretty cool game on this map in round 1. I believe it was Falcon Shrey versus somebody else. My memory is so bad. But this map lends itself well to some different kind of strategies. Obviously, there's two ways to really approach it. You can go galleys in the feudal age and prevent your opponent from taking water, trying at that stage to prevent them from taking any gold in the center of the map. Because of course, once your little gold piles do run out, you do have 3 little tiddlers there, you have to transfer to the center of the map. So galley rushing can only really be sustained for so long before the fight for the middle really does become a necessity. And we have seen strategies in the past where players actually prefer not to galley rush, and instead they'll just try and just take the center as quickly as they can and hold it. And at that stage, they can boom on their land and try to get up to castle, and then retake the water with fire ships or something along those lines. Of course, in this case, Aztecs, no access to galleon. So if we do see galleys in the feudal age, I think we probably will see fire ships from then on, because of course, fast fire ships versus war galley is, I believe, they should come out on top. Obviously against galleon it's a little bit of a different story, but was the Aztecs clearly don't have the galleon upgrade, not such a good plan. Anyway, I should talk a little bit about these players. bacgiobro in the first round, he did come up on top against Air Abu, and certainly a very strong opponent to go up against. This guy, very, very well playing very well at the moment even, and I think, you know, rated around 2.1 to 2.2k, so very high up right there, maybe 2.2k pushing it a bit, but very, very high up there. Cloud sitting around 2.1k as well in, I believe, 1v1 Medieval Siege, or random map even. So certainly a really top player, and he is certainly rooting for a lot of the other Hong Kong players in this tournament. You know, I never know what to say. Hong Kong, I mean, are people from Hong Kong still Chinese, or are they Hong Kongese? I actually don't know, so sorry to offend anyone with that. I just literally just do not know, so someone should let me know about that one. Of course, bacgiobro from Vietnam. Part of Team VNS, Vietnam Strategy, and there's a hell of a lot of them in that team, so pretty team play orientated clan right there. And I don't know, I don't know what to expect from this guy in 1v1. I really haven't seen many of his games, but I'm certainly going to be interested to see what kind of strategy they go for. And yes, they are Chinese, not Hong Kongese. Apologies. It doesn't sound quite right though, let's be honest. One thing I'll note right here though, Cloud with this deer patch, very nice position on that. It is very close to his TC, and he could quite comfortably take those deer right there, maybe even deciding to take them over berries initially. We have a look at bacgiobro's base. He too has got deer, but behind this tree line, making it a little bit difficult to lure them in, but still doing a pretty good job with this eagle right there. And we've got a couple of deer pushed quite close in towards his TC, which he can get for some fairly easy hunts. So bacgiobro taking those deer pretty quickly. Cloud though, seeming like he's taking his boar slightly faster. Both boar now gone, and he will click up to the feudal age in what seems to be a much faster time right here. Interesting to see that bacgiobro is really struggling for food at the moment. Population capped as well on 24 right there, and struggling at the moment, it seems, to get up to the feudal age, but we don't know his strategy. At this stage, it's kind of curious why he's not managed to click up just yet when you consider Cloud going for a very fast feudal time here. Obviously missing that 4th fishing ship right there. I don't know if that was literally just delayed because of his population block, or if he actually had less villagers on wood initially to enable him to get up to the feudal age faster. But at the moment, not taking any berries, not taking any deer even, and right now transitioning all his villagers to wood. Surprisingly, no gold at this stage though, and you know, you do need gold to do a galley rush, so curious to see exactly what he's doing here. I mean, if he was galley rushing, yeah, there we go, gold camp going down, but a little bit slow on that. Of course, playing as Aztecs, already with that loom, already with that extra gold in the bank, perhaps then taking that gold a little bit later, because he knows he's got a little bit more in the bank to get those initial galleys out anyway. So bacgiobro here, still in the Dark Age, but look at this, 30 population, starting to send villagers into the center of the map already, and it looks to me like he's actually going to start taking a stake on the center island, and probably go with a little bit of a little less of a galley rush, and more of a fast castle with fire ships. Could be a really nice idea. Of course, Cloud here, going to be starting to make some galleys straight away. And we may see 3 or even 4 docks from him, but I think initially at the moment with that 1 villager gathering gold, perhaps you will actually just stay on the 2. Obviously this map is a bit of a hybrid, and these shallows make it slightly, well, quite difficult to wall on the front. So perhaps going 2 docks and making a mixture of land as well is a good decision for him, but we see bacgiobro already taking gold in the center of the map, and it's certainly a different strategy to the norm. Also, adding in this mill right here, of course he would need a mill anyway for his 2nd feudal age building to go up to the castle age, sorry, 2nd dark age building to go up to the feudal age, but able to take those shore fish as well. Downside, of course, 2 idle villagers right here, not so efficient after all. But right now, bacgiobro about to lose his fishing ships, and I'm going to be very interested to see what Cloud does next, because at this stage of the game, Cloud, committing a little bit to water here, may have to change his strategy up a little bit as he realizes that bacgiobro not intending to actually go with any galleys at all. With such a late feudal age, it's very clear then that he's intending to fast castle here, and he will do exactly that by looks of things. Also, interestingly enough, walling up Cloud's base so that he actually has full control of this center island. I actually really like this style from him. It's a very different strategy. I don't think I've ever seen this strategy before, walling your opponent into their base. Usually you're walling them out of yours. But yeah, walling across here, going to prevent Cloud from getting into this center area, or at least give him a heads up when he does intend to head onto here. And at the same time, going to be able to fast castle, and perhaps at this stage thinking that he's going to go and get some fire ships out once he gets up to the castle age. Eagle there, going down pretty quickly. Obviously the help from Cloud's galley right there. And I think right now, Cloud probably sensing that something is slightly wrong. And I'm going to be curious to see exactly his line of sight. He has no idea that bacgiobro is actually walling him in now, committing a little bit to this land army that we were talking about. And as well as that, adding in an extra dock as well. Of course, at this stage of the game, it's going to be pretty tough for him to actually get out enough galleys to keep a full eye on this. But lucky enough for Cloud right here, pushing out at just the right time. And bacgiobro is not actually going to complete this wall by the looks of things, which is actually a really big deal, because Cloud now should be able to prevent this wall from going up, and of course then get out of his base and start taking the center island. But there's the tower from bacgiobro. Cloud spotting that out straight away, and the dead villager from bacgiobro there going down. Is this plan going to backfire? Is bacgiobro not going to be able to pull it off? Well, you've got to bear in mind he will be able to make those fires and regain water control, and maybe he's going to consider adding in some eagles or something along those lines as well, though saying that, not really taking any food at the moment, so really going to be investing fully into water once he gets up to the castle age here with, I think, very little land army. A little bit concerned that he isn't taking any food at all. I would have thought that he would have seeded some farms, or at least took these berries, because he may have trouble actually keeping up population production here. And we can see already that he's unable to keep villager production up, and idle TC is not a good thing. There we go, finally transitioning to berries. A little bit slow to actually realise that. I think in the heat of the moment, he does intend to add in those eagles, but obviously a lot slower to take that food, and I think that's going to hurt him a little bit. But fire's coming out. and I think that makes a lot of sense for him. The question is, though, is bacgiobro here going to be under a little bit too much pressure from Cloud? Is he actually going to be able to pull this back? Obviously, quite an interesting strategy, one that is certainly quite risky as well, and Cloud starting to tower up this middle area. Of course, bacgiobro with the tech advantage being into the Castle Age, but at the same time, if he's unable to make a big enough dent into Cloud here, Cloud can quite easily push him off with just a Feudal Age army at this stage. Especially as bacgiobro has this idle TC, a huge, I think, critical error from him right there. So Cloud here then may lose his fishing ships, because he has added in a couple more. That's pretty expected, especially when you've won the water. Along comes bacgiobro with some fires. So we can say goodbye to those fishing ships pretty damn quickly. But Cloud now, I think, focus going to be on controlling this center area. And perhaps as well getting up to the Castle Age, as you can see, on 700 food right there, 200 gold as well, about to click up in just a moment. And, you know, to be honest with you, he's not really far behind. I know that bacgiobro right now is in the Castle Age, but Cloud going to be in a much better position with his economy, and he has got more military out on the field already. So once he does get Castle, if his military stays alive at least, he will be able to upgrade many more units here. bacgiobro, though, is starting to take a little bit of advantage of having this water here, able to pick off some villagers, well, deal damage to these villagers. And now this is where it really gets a little bit tough, because Cloud is going to have to try and retake the water now. And bacgiobro already with these fire ships does mean that Cloud, of course, going to struggle to cross here if bacgiobro has the ships in place. So a little bit troublesome for Cloud, but Cloud really starting to make a big stake on this center island, putting his army to good use inside of these towers, taking down bacgiobro's tower very quickly indeed, and that does mean that once he gets up to Castle, it's going to make it slightly easier to push him. The problem right now that I see is that that's a few mangonels for bacgiobro right there. You know, I thought he would add in some rams. Rams are a lot more effective against towers, as the towers outrange the mangonels, but mangonels coming out, and it's going to be pretty much impossible for Cloud to micro against these with his land army. But if he does defend and play it carefully, he can deal with these pretty easily. Eagles in here for bacgiobro though, and it's going to be pretty tough for Cloud to actually deal with villagers coming over to heal up the mangonels as well. Looks like he's going to take out one. Oh, so close. Yep, there we go, one down. And now, of course, bacgiobro are going to release those eagles as he sort of lured Cloud out of here. But these eagles at the moment, not so fully upgraded, quite low pierce armor at this stage, and they will get taken out pretty quickly by these towers. So as we know, Aztec Eagle Warriors make really good raiding units, but only once they've got those upgrades on them. So Cloud right now being hotly contested in the center of the map, but he is just about to hit up to the Castle Age, and he might actually be able to turn it around a little bit in the center of the map right here. Of course, the last thing he wants is to lose this gold. He needs it so much. And right now, a lot of gold and a lot of wood in the bank. He could quite easily put down a siege workshop of his own and make a mangonel to counter this. As well as that, he can add in more archers and, of course, get that crossbow upgrade. So, expected sort of stuff from him there on the upgrades. He has got those archers out already. So, making the crossbow upgrade and more archers is a good decision. Problem is, right now, he has lost all of his docks, lost water control, which is pretty worrying for him. And bacgiobro as well. Still not really that up with it in his economy. At least he's got villager production going again. Population-wise, 57 for bacgiobro, 56 for Cloud, so it is pretty close. And Cloud here, I actually didn't notice his stone there getting quite high. This castle is a really, really important thing. Cloud needs to get this up, and with these mangonels here, going to make it a bit difficult. But the towers giving so much covering fire could mean that he can do it. And this castle is clutch. He really needs to get the castle up, and still putting towers up as well. But Cloud now, with these towers here, with this base sort of arrow fire to cover this, might just get it up. And if he does manage to get the castle up, this could be really bad news for bacgiobro here. He's going to really struggle to actually take back this center area of the map. A little bit of flicking back and forth. Those eagles going down fairly quickly. As I said, no upgrades. Does make them a little bit more squishy. And now Cloud needs to get that castle up. He's got the range on the towers though. He did that bodkin arrow upgrade. And that is so crucial. It means he can reach these mangonels, and if he gets in here and gets this castle up, these mangonels are going to go down. There's no question about it. Of course, getting a little bit risky here. as he just bring them closer and closer to the watchtowers. And I think Cloud now realizing he does need this siege workshop to pull this off. He needs to make some counter mangonels. Of course, it will be a while at this stage before the castle goes down. And it seems like this mangonel getting pretty low as well. bacgiobro trying to repair them. That villager getting very low as well. And this center area now is so crucial. Cloud's going to have a much tougher time, I think, getting villagers over here. And now bacgiobro has the water control. This castle, it's slowly losing health. Cloud, on a little bit of a timer right now, needs to get that up. He's really, I think, torn. He wants to get the siege workshop up, of course, but at the same time, he needs the tower, sorry, the castle as well. So really, really kind of confusing for Cloud right now. Not 100% sure what he wants to do. Looks very indecisive. And meanwhile, bacgiobro adding all these fishing ships in. Of course, that's really going to help out with his food at this stage of the game. This castle then, just going for it. YOLO mode. He's got to get it up, and he might just do that. Those crossbows getting in there. One mangonel going down, the other as well. And if Cloud micros his villagers here, he could just do it. It's so close, but the castle is getting pretty low on health right now. And he's going to be taking hits from this mangonel the entire time. 85%, and it's so clutch. 2 villagers going down. And these two are really low on health. Of course, bacgiobro going to get back to repair that mangonel. And meanwhile, you've got to bear in mind, all this time, Cloud is not gathering any gold whatsoever. But he has got so many towers here, and he's relying so heavily on getting this castle up. Right now, though, not contested. Villagers getting it up, 95%. And Eagles out for Cloud as well. So bacgiobro, GG to the center island for you, because the castle is up. Sure, it's on fire, but the mangonels are going to go down. And Cloud now can prevent bacgiobro from taking any more gold. GG from bacgiobro. And that castle, as I said, so crucial. Cloud gonna take that first game, and very nicely as well. I think bacgiobro, interesting playstyle there. Certainly a curious strategy. Forced Cloud a little bit to think on his feet there. Unfortunately, didn't pay off for him, and Cloud's going to take this game 1-0 in this series so far, and we're going to go to game 2 in just a moment.